Welcome to Good Muse. I'm your host, Natalie McClutchy. In my last presentation, Healing Hands Part 1, I shared a testimony of how God healed me from warts when I was a young teenager. Today, I'd like to share with you a more recent healing testimony from earlier this year. On Christmas Day in 2021, I used a DIY gel polish to decorate my nails with seasonal colours. I've used the kits a few times before with no concerns, and I got my nails done first thing in the morning prior to preparing the lunch for the family. Within a few minutes of the polish curing, I began to feel a tingling sensation in my cuticles and under my nails. As there was too much to do for the day, I ignored it, but tingling turned into a chronic itch and burning. And by evening, I had inadvertently rubbed my knuckles and cuticles raw from the unrelenting itch. And after everyone had left, I removed the polish. I was horrified to discover bleeding under my nails, and one of my thumbnails had actually started lifting away from the thumb nail bed. And to this day, I have no idea what happened, but it was terrifying. For the next few weeks, my nails continued to itch. I wrapped them in band-aids to stop myself scratching in my sleep. As soon as one finger would start to heal, the itch would start up again and the process would begin all over. I tried a variety of creams as well as some steroid preparation from the doctors, but nothing was working for me. What I find strange is that, once again, it didn't occur to me to pray for healing. Why is that? I just put up with it, as we so often do with life's continuing niggles, pains and mysteries. One Saturday night in late January 2022, my husband and I were having one of our regular theological chats. We were discussing the ministry of prophecy and healing, and I commented to my husband how scared I used to be as a teenager, in case someone with a word of wisdom revealed my deepest secrets to the whole congregation. I also commented that in 45 years of attending church, not once had anyone ever had a kind of word from the pulpit for me. I wondered aloud why this would be the case, despite having seen many travelling speakers over the years. The next morning, I was part of the worship team. Our pastor, Beck Hamilton, had a word at our early service that God wanted to heal people with two specific body parts. I glanced at my bandaged thumbs and said in my head, "God, please, hands." She mentioned two completely different body parts, and I felt a little sad that once again the healing ministry had passed me by. At our second service, Beck got up again and said that she felt prompted that God wanted to heal two body parts. The skeptic in me immediately thought, probably the same two parts. But the little girl of faith prayed again, "Please God, hands." I was so shocked when Beck said hands, I nearly leapt off the stage and raced to the front. But then I overheard a lady being prayed for with arthritis, and I thought sadly, oh well, that mustn't have been a word for me after all. So as Beck was praying for me, I prayed for God to heal the lady with the arthritis because I figured she needed it more than I did. But then later in the service, Beck came back and asked to pray with me a second time, which took me by surprise. I was even more shocked when I looked down after she prayed and saw that my red raw fingers were now back to a healthy looking pink. By the end of the day, one of my thumbs was completely healed, where there'd been lifting of the nail and spots under the nail from the bruising, and it looked completely new. It took a few more days and some ongoing prayer, but that other thumb also healed without any more steroids and other treatments. And I am pleased to say that 6 months on, I am back to wearing nail polish again, although not quite game to go down the gel polish road. I would like to say a big thank you to Pastor Beck for stepping out in faith. Unbeknownst to me at that time, it was her first time ever doing that, and the fact that God used her to see a miracle was a huge encouragement for her, I'm sure. I also think that just knowing that she had heard that still small voice correctly must have been a great confirmation to her that the Holy Spirit was active within her. So often we can doubt that we're really hearing God's voice, and I'm so glad that I got a chance to be a part of that with her. I'd also like to thank God. Even though my self-inflicted pain from being vain seems like a small thing in the whole scheme of all the troubles of the universe, it was a big thing to me to know that God of creation heard what I had said to my husband the night before and made sure that I knew he heard the very next morning. I really do think God is not only very gracious and kind to me, but I do love his sense of timing and humour. I hope this encourages you too. God does hear our hearts, our big worries and small concerns, and he cares for you. If you would like prayer for anything at all, you can contact me at goodmuse@yahoo.com. Well, you've been watching Good Muse with Natalie McClutchy. God bless you and have a wonderful day.